welcome to another episode of Beauty Blind Date. I have Jessica Padilla here today. She is a makeup artist and local 798 member. I'm really excited to have her on. I don't think I've had any union people on yet, so this is gonna add a little bit of another layer to the discussion, and we get to hear about all the cool stuff that she works on. Thanks for being here, Jessica.
Thanks so much for having me.
So here's the deal. I am filming in my home. Jessica is filming in her home. I have her on a Zoom audio call only. I'm gonna lead her through a makeup look, and at the same time, I'm gonna do that same look. And at the end, we're gonna turn this Zoom audio call into a Zoom video call and see how close or far we got. This is interesting for me. As I've said, I'm a pro shimmer person, but I'm gonna use mattes today. And we're gonna do like this pretty lavender eye.
Beautiful.
I actually wanna start with the black liner.
Okay.
I wanna put that on our bottom lashes. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna smash it into my lower lash line, and then I'm gonna take a Q-tip and I'm gonna clean up. So I really just want it like on top of those lashes, not in the waterline, really not underneath, but just like on that line, just to kind of give some bulk to our lower lashes.
And do you go all the way across on the lower lash line from like where the lashes start to the end, or just like halfway?
So I'm gonna go all the way into where my lashes end. Yeah, I'm not gonna take it all the way into the inner corner, but just to like where the bulk of my lashes end.
Okay. And making that weird eyeliner face.
Yes, of course, we all have one.
It's not proper eyeliner unless you're like sticking your tongue out.
Oh yeah.
And I think the hardest thing is talking while I do eyeliner.
What liner are you using?
I actually really like this Lime Life by Alcone gel liner.
Amazing.
It's like super smooth when it goes on, and then it sets super waterproof.
I love that.
I definitely do not like to work hard. I like to work smart, and I hate when I lay something down and it doesn't stay. And it could be, you know, because I work mostly in film and television. I need things that are gonna last like 12 hours.
And the nice thing about Lime Life is that it's by Alcone. Alcone is a professional brand.
Yeah, that's kind of what drew me towards it. I mean, it's a professional makeup company. It's things that I would use in my kit anyway.
Totally. Like, of course, when you're on set, you want something that's long lasting. But from a consumer standpoint, they do too. Like, people don't want to be touching up their makeup all day.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love a gel pencil.
It's my favorite formula. There's like some tried and trues that will never, it doesn't matter what formula they're, like Teddy from MAC. Like everyone has Teddy. Everyone should have Teddy.
God, I love that liner.
But in general, when I gravitate towards new formulas, I like the long wear gel, especially for a black.
I'm actually using a discontinued Shiseido one today because I was like, I can't use this Maybelline one again. I swear in every one of my videos, I've been using this Maybelline one.
Maybelline is actually my other number one.
It's so good. Okay, so next we're gonna take our like lavender creamy base.
I found a paint pot that's purple, and then I'm gonna mix that with my white chromographic liner, which if you know me, it's like my favorite thing ever. It's Chromaline from MAC.
Oh, okay, amazing.
The white one is the bomb. It doesn't budge. Once you put it down, it is bulletproof. And if you saw the makeup I did for Fosse Verdon, the white and black makeup was mostly Chromaline. And it lasted for a 14-hour shoot day, and I didn't even have to touch it up.
I loved that show.
Thank you. I loved working on that show. That show was like the dream of my lifetime come true.
So cool.
I've never had a 5 a.m. call time or earlier where I was like excited to go to work. The day we did my nair was the best day of my life.
Ugh, so cool. Okay, so let me tell you what we're gonna do with this, and then I wanna get back to that. We're gonna take the purple. I'm gonna use a synthetic brush and start to put it on, and then I'm gonna take a fluffier brush and just start to blend it out and up. I want it almost up to your brow, but as it gets up to your brow, I want it to sort of fade a little bit as well. So just like blendy, pretty concentrate of color on the mobile lid, but it can just be blown out gorgeousness.
Okay. And how lavender?
I'm using Krylin, the aqua color palette, which is one of my favorite things. And I've mixed it on a little palette with some water. I still want it to show up. I feel like the lavender that's in this palette is too light, so I added like a little extra purple, almost like a pinky purple. I mean, that's kind of like the beauty of this too, is that like we can't see each other and we have no idea what we're doing. So don't overthink it too much, just a lavender that shows up. So Jessica is a union member. Jessica does a little bit of everything, but it also means that she works on film and TV, and like she was saying before, she worked on Fosse Verdon, which if you haven't watched, you absolutely must. It was beautiful. Most recently, or at least what's out now, Katie Keene. Oh, Pose, that's a big one as well.
Season 2 is coming to Netflix like any day now, actually.
Amazing.
And then it hasn't come out, but I worked on Wonder Woman 1984. And that was supposed to come out this summer. They've delayed the opening, but it's funny because like I was so excited when I worked on it. It's so long between when you shoot it and when the release date is. Fosse Verdon was just such a big part of my heart. I think that colored everything after that. I started out in musical theater, and I'm such a musical theater nerd. I went to PPAS in Midtown, and we did Pippin as our school project. The director and choreographer was actually in All That Jazz. He was one of Fosse's main dancers. And so when I was doing research, when I was helping my boss out with some research, because we were replicating all of those amazing dances, I actually found a picture of Fred talking to Bob Fosse in one of the behind the scenes videos. You know, it was just this moment of like, I was that close. And when I was 16, I didn't realize the full scope of like how major that was and like getting to work with this person and what that meant. And so it was a chance for me to like honor that and revisit that. I've always said this, but I think recreation is sometimes harder than creation. You know, recreating something, getting it right is so specific. I love that challenge.
Well, and like the king of detail is Bob Fosse. So it kind of even adds another layer.
The fact is that those makeups are really modern. Even though it was the 60s and the 70s, I found a look that I was like, Pat McGrath just did that on the runway. So relevant.
Obviously, we're living in this entirely unprecedented time, and it will be interesting to see how everything comes back. But I think film and TV in particular, because these sets that she's working on are not small, they're massive.
I mean, Pose especially. And Pose, like we have 180 background on like a small ball day. Something we've been talking about a lot inside the union is that we as makeup and hair people are actually the safest people on set in terms of sanitation protocol. We've been practicing these things forever. So it's really a matter of production meeting us where we need to be met so that we can continue to be as safe as possible. So I don't think it's an impossibility, but it is going to be about working together and educating them on how we can meet the protocols that we have to meet and just allow us to keep doing what we've already been doing.
Let's start with our lavender shadow over that just to kind of set it and bring a little bit more concentration of color in. And we're just gonna kind of do the same type of thing. We want the most concentration of color at the lash line and then for it to just kind of like blow out into nothingness.
I'm using MAC shadows. I think they're all discontinued.
Yeah, probably.
I actually love, like you were saying, you love a shimmer. I love a matte, especially for eyeshadow. I actually love a matte face. Who am I kidding? I'm like the only one alive who still loves like a matte foundation and a matte. Just make it matte.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really into this. I think it's pretty, but like, I'm just like so obsessed with satins and shimmers and glitters and anything that has sparkle.
Yeah. I'm either like matte or like bring on all the glitter. There's no middle ground for me. I just feel like people are not as scared to be bold now. You know, shows with like a look are often more memorable. But I will watch a show just for the look.
It's come up a lot while I've been doing Beauty Blind Date, but people bring up Euphoria a lot. And like, I haven't watched it. It's just like too heavy for me. I want to curl our lashes and put on gobs of mascara on the top and the bottom.
Euphoria. People were going nuts. People were going crazy about it. The makeups are definitely more fashion forward than what we usually see in television. But I think it's because I have a fashion background that I was like, oh yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. I love that it sort of brought it to the mainstream. I think that's incredible.
And I think for us, it wasn't really like a revelation, but for like the general public, it was. After Euphoria came out, I started seeing face lace on people. I saw this girl with like neon green eyeliner and like nothing else. She was rocking it. It looked great. That's totally Euphoria, no doubt.
And I think also younger kids, like 16, 17, they watched this and then just went nuts with their makeup, and I love it. I love it.
I love it too. I feel like there isn't enough creative expression in makeup.
Yes.
Because there's so much pressure to be like perfect and Instagram ready, and you know, they're selling product and they're marketing products, so it's all about like how many products you can get on your face, whether you need it or not. I was a teenager in the 90s and we grew up at the MAC counter and like Urban Decay, and I used to wear Electric Eel, which is like that super bright turquoise with like lime on top of it, and then Crystal Avalanche, which is like white under my brow bone. And I thought I was the coolest thing. People either loved it or they hated it. It was a little bit Mimi from the Drew Carey show, but it was super fun. And I just love the fact that we didn't feel shy about exploring that. So anything that gets people experimenting, I'm a big fan.
Same. 8th grade was the first time that I could wear makeup, and I got like a few little things from a convenience store. I just wanted to start playing because I'd waited for so long to wear makeup, or at least that's what it felt like. And I remember I had this frosty blue pencil. I wore it one day and this kid in homeroom made fun of me and I probably threw it away.
Oh no, I hate kids. They're so mean. But I remember almost thinking like makeup was like armor. Yeah, I remember feeling like whenever I was like emotionally vulnerable, which happened a lot in high school, I would like do my makeup that morning.
This moment in time that we're in where we're staying inside and not really going out, in order to stay creative, like I have to work on myself. Doing all of these, and they're not even out there. They're still like beauty looks. It's not like I'm doing anything super crazy. I would normally not feel comfortable wearing this kind of makeup out. I'm wondering if it's gonna shift when we kind of go back out in the world for me, because this idea of self-expression, it's the first time that I've really enjoyed doing looks on myself.
I feel like I always try to look put together, and I feel like a little bit better if I'm doing someone else's makeup when I have a look like the basics on. But this is the first time in my life where like I've most of the time not had anything on, and it will definitely affect my mood. I just kind of feel a little frumpy. Yeah, color makes me happy. Having a little bit of makeup on makes me happy, and it definitely affects my mind.
For sure. What mascara are you using?
I have a very weird situation with my lashes, which I didn't realize until I was an adult. I'm Hispanic and Asian and white. My eyelashes grow completely stick straight, and they're very, very thick. If I want to do a lash, I have to do a waterproof base first, because if I don't, a lot of the thicker volumizing mascaras will actually just make my eyelashes completely fall. So anytime I want a lash, like at all, I go in with a waterproof. I'm using Falsies Maybelline. And then my absolute favorite mascara is the Stila Huge mascara. I love it. It just gives me like a lot of volume and instantly.
I have the same issues. My lashes aren't thick, but they don't hold curl unless I use waterproof.
Funny. Yeah. And it's just something that took me a really long time to discover. I'd be like, why can't I not get my lashes to look a certain way?
Me too. The life of a person who has to wear waterproof mascara is rough. Like trying to get this stuff off every day and like not kill your lashes is hard.
You recommended Melt Off to me, right? That was you?
That stuff is great.
I think they discontinued.
Really? All right, how you doing over there?
I'm done. I've just been looking at my eyelashes for a few minutes.
All right, so let's put a little blush on, like a nice pinky blush just to bring a little light into our faces. Apples. We can kind of almost blend it into that purple. It doesn't have to be even seen, but we just kind of want it going in that direction.
In a C shape up towards the outer corner of the eye.
Yes.
I'm using an old MAC blush, which is also discontinued, called Pink Cult, but I'm also using a bit of Bourjois blush, French drugstore brand. So I was teaching a class in Paris on the history of makeup. I was trying to update the class to try to see if I could make it relevant for a Parisian audience. And so I was looking at products that are available there, and it turns out that Bourjois, one of the oldest makeup companies like in the world, so they invented the baked blush technology, and it's the same one that Chanel adopted later. I'm really into not just transformation, but also process. And I'm just tickled by the idea that like I could be putting on a blush that's the same as someone in like the 1800s would have.
Very cool. And then we're gonna put on a lip, just like something very light pink.
I only have one light pink lipstick. I have like 900 red lipsticks, and I have one light pink.
What is it?
It is Lovelorn. It's a luster lipstick from MAC. I feel like it would be pretty with the lavender. I like it.
Me too.
Very soft and spring.
I really love the eye. Like, I feel like I want to wear this every day. You know, Jessica teaches vintage makeup classes, history of makeup, like she was talking about. So I was like, all right, I want to do something that's like a nod to, but like, but not. So I was just looking at vintage makeup, and I saw this like Maybelline one. Maybelline had all these cream pastel shadows that were coming out in the 60s and 70s.
Gorgeous, yeah.
I like it. It's so pretty, but I would like legit wear this every day.
Oh yeah, I would totally wear this. I mean, I am wearing it, but I would also wear it. It's also kind of nice and refreshing to not do like a deep crease or a cut shadow. Like it's like a lash look with like a little bit of color.
Whenever you're ready, we'll just grab our computers.
Hey.
Yay! Ooh, so pretty. And oh my God, with your turban, I'm obsessed.
I was like, maybe I shouldn't wear feathered.
My God, I'm obsessed.
I figured I should dress down for our beauty blind date.
The whole thing. It's literally perfect. I'm so glad that I didn't know that you looked like this before we started. It just makes me so happy. You're giving me like Liza Minnelli vibes right now.
Always. Yeah, a lash look is like immediate Liza Minnelli.
Love it. Your lashes look good.
Thank you. But I love it on you too. Like this is the kind of look I feel like anyone can wear. There are very few people that wouldn't be able to do something like this. I feel like it just looks good. I also feel that way about a lot of the vintage looks.
Yay! This was so fun.
So fun.
All right, everyone, thanks so much for watching. And thank you, Jessica, for being here. I really appreciate it. This was so much fun. See you next time.